All right, deputies, we are ready to go. All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is approximately 11:05 a.m. here on June 1st of 2024, and this is First Appearance. My name is Judge Marcus Thorpe, and I'm one of the Associate Magistrate Judges here in Clayton County. As we go through here this morning, ladies and gentlemen, if you're having trouble hearing me, please let me know. There are a few things that I want to go over with you all before we start, and during the time that we are going through this process. Now, as I mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, this is your first appearance. And so there are a couple of things I just want you all to keep in mind. First, let me say I am not here to try your case. I am not here to take a plea or have any legal discussions with you about the specific facts of your case. The purpose of this morning's hearing is to inform you of the charges against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set a bond on those offenses for which the court is authorized to set bond, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. Most important, ladies and gentlemen, you have the right to remain silent here this morning. So please do not attempt to tell me specifics about your case or any legal defense you believe you have. As I said earlier, this is streaming live and this hearing is being recorded. So anything you say during this proceeding can and will be used against you in later proceedings. Now, during this and all other proceedings, you have the right to a presumption of innocence. You have the right to a grand jury for felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury. You have the right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf or to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you. You have the right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense. You have the right to an attorney to represent you. And if you can't afford one can be appointed to you this morning if you qualify. Now, for those of you all who are not citizens, some of these charges may adversely affect your immigration status, and you will need to consult an immigration attorney if that is the case. Now, for some of you, ladies and gentlemen, this morning, you will be allowed to post an unrestricted bond for your release while your case is pending. These bonds can be posted in one of three ways. You can do it through cash, commercial, or property. Now, I'm going to go through each of them and explain them to you how they work. Now, if you post a cash bond, that means that either you or someone will deliver the full amount of the bond in cash together with any fees to the sheriff's office, who will then hold it until your court date or till your final court date or your case is closed, at which time that money is returned to you. And so the example I use is that if you are charged with the offense of battery family violence, and I tell you your bond this morning is $6,000, that means that either you or someone you know would have to bring $6,000 down to the sheriff with any fees, and then once your case is closed, that money is returned. The second way that you can make bond would be through a bonding company. Again, the example that I use, if you or someone you know has, in this case, instead of the full amount, 12 to 15% of that $6,000, then you would get with the bonding company, you would pay them that amount, they'll pay the rest, and then you'll be released on bond till your case is closed. So the example I talked about, if your bond is $6,000, you'd be required to come up with about $750 to use that bonding company to bond out. Finally, the last way you can make bond is through what is called a property bond. So if either you or someone you know owns a home that is worth 3 times your bond, so in that case, $18,000 in equity in the house, they can bring the deed to their home down to the sheriff's office, and again, the sheriff will hold it until such time as your case is closed. Now, there are some of you all who will have also special conditions placed on your bond. That means that you're to have no contact with someone or not to return to a place. If I tell you to not have contact with someone, typically the alleged victim, ladies and gentlemen, please do not call, text, email, write, or send a letter or contact through any social media platform that individual. You can't even do something as nice as write a song for them, because that will be a violation of your bond. If I tell you don't return to a particular location, that means you cannot go back for any reason. Now, if the no return order is a place that you lived at before the incident happened and you released on bond, please let the sheriff know and they will escort you to that property to get things that belong to you, because you're not allowed to go back there until your case is closed. So let me say that again. If the place I tell you you cannot return to is a place you lived at, you have to get with the sheriff within 10 days of your release, and then they will help you get items that belong to you out of the residence until such time as your case is closed. Now, let me say also that if you violate any of the orders that I give you this morning, the bond orders, and the court considers that contact intimidating or harassing, please understand that you could receive additional felony charges such as aggravated stalking or influencing a witness. And these charges carry up to 20 years in prison and a $20,000 fine. Lastly, as to bond, ladies and gentlemen, if your spouse, family member, or whomever else is the alleged victim in your case, they can't post your bond. And so if I tell you you're to have no contact with someone and the victim wants to bring the money down to help you because you all have reconciled, can't do it. It will be against the law. There are also some of you here who after reviewing your criminal histories, are currently on active probation. That means I'm not authorized to set bond at this time. Whether a bond is appropriate in your case will be considered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to review the new arrest. Now, before we end and begin speaking to each other individually, the last thing I want to talk about is a preliminary hearing. A preliminary hearing is a hearing that happens in the morning here, or not this morning, but it will happen in about a month's time if you don't make bond, where you are present as the defendant, the police officer is present, and the judge is present. It is no jury, but you're just there to decide whether there is enough evidence for your case to move forward to the prosecutor. If you are charged with a felony and you don't make bond, I'm going to give you a preliminary hearing date regardless of whether you want it today. If you are charged with a misdemeanor, however, you have an option. You can tell me, Judge, I don't want that preliminary hearing, I want to skip it, or you can tell me you do want that hearing. If you tell me you don't want that hearing, I will move your case up to the prosecutor, and it will get there a little faster and move your case a little quicker than it would otherwise. But regardless, you are entitled to that hearing if you are charged with a misdemeanor and you so desire. Now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if I could have everyone please raise their right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you are about to give here during this morning's proceeding and all other documents in which you provided information will be the truth and nothing but the truth to help you God? And if it is, please, each of you say, I do. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may place your hands down. All right. So what we'll do now, ma'am, I think you had, Deputy, I think you had one Spanish speaker. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And whom is that this morning?
One moment now.
Give me 1 minute, Judge. We're getting them now.
Okay. And then, Mr. Interpreter, after I do the Ms. Bermudez, who is our Spanish interpreter this morning, then I'll be able to take your individual second.
There you go, Judge.
Mm-hmm. And what is the gentleman's name, Deputy?
What's your last name?
Ernesto.
Ernesto.
Jerkin.
I've got him here.
Ernesto Jerquin.
Okay. All right, Ms. Bermudez, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, if I could have you please raise your right hand.
Yes, sir.
Do you swear or affirm that the information that you are about to translate on behalf of the county will be the truth and nothing but the truth, and that you will do so appropriately from English to Spanish and Spanish to English?
I do.
All right, ma'am, if you would please introduce yourself to, I believe it's Mr. Ernesto Jarquin.
Señor Jarquin, mi nombre es Deyanira Bermúdez y yo voy a ser su intérprete en la mañana de hoy.
Okay.
All right, good morning, Mr. Jarquin. My name is Judge Marcus Thorpe.
Buenos días, señor Jarquin. Yo soy el juez Marcus Thorpe.
And I am here this morning to discuss with you the charges that are pending against you that were brought by the police.
Y yo estoy acá en la mañana de hoy para hablar con usted con respecto a los cargos que se le han imputado por parte de la policía.
Okay. Now, before we begin, sir, I just want to remind you that this is being recorded and that there are witnesses. So please be careful about what you tell me this morning about your case.
Antes de comenzar, yo quiero recordarle, señor, que esta audiencia está siendo grabada y que Hay testigos, o sea que solamente tenga mucho cuidado con lo que usted me dice en la mañana de hoy.
I am not here to try your case. I am simply here just to tell you what you've been charged with.
Yo no estoy acá para tener un juicio en su caso. Yo solamente estoy acá para informarle cuáles son los cargos que se le han imputado.
Okay. Now, before we begin, let me remind you that you have the right to remain silent.
Antes de comenzar, déjeme recordarle que usted tiene el derecho de permanecer en silencio.
You have the right to a trial by jury.
Usted tiene el derecho de tener un juicio por jurado.
You have the right to see, hear, and confront any witnesses that are called to testify against you.
Usted tiene el derecho de ver, escuchar y contrainterrogar a cualquier testigo que sea citado a testificar en su contra.
You have the right to call any witnesses on your behalf.
Usted tiene el derecho de citar a cualquier testigo para que testifique a su favor.
And you have the right to testify on your behalf should you desire to do so.
Y usted tiene el derecho de testificar a su favor si usted así decide hacerlo.
You have the right to an indictment by grand jury for felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors.
Usted tiene el derecho a que el gran jurado presente una acusación para delitos graves o que se le formule una acusación para los delitos menores.
And lastly, sir, I need to remind you that if you are not a citizen of the United States, that these charges could adversely affect your immigration status.
Y finalmente, señor, yo necesito recordarle que si usted no es ciudadano estadounidense, estos cargos podrían afectar de forma negativa su estado migratorio.
So I would strongly suggest that if and when you are released from custody, that you please speak with an immigration attorney.
O sea que yo le sugiero vehemente que cuando a usted lo pongan en libertad, usted hable con un abogado de migración.
So, Mr. Ernesto, are you working right now?
Señor Ernesto, ¿está usted trabajando en estos momentos?
Sí, yo trabajo.
Yes, I do work.
Okay, and how much are you earning per month?
¿Y cuánto gana usted por mes?
No sé el estimado, gano a 19 la hora, pero no sé cuánto es por mes.
I don't know exactly how much it is per month, but I make $19 per hour.
And about how many hours a week are you working?
¿Y más o menos cuántas horas por semana está usted trabajando?
40.
40.
Okay. Do you get paid in cash or by check?
¿Le pagan en efectivo o en cheque?
En cheque.
By check.
And how much is the check usually each month on average?
Y más o menos un promedio. ¿Cuánto es ese cheque mensualmente?
Como 2,000 al mes. Al mes.
Like 2,000 per month?
Okay. So, sir, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer here this morning so that if you need one for your case, they will contact you and assist you in resolving this case for you, okay?
Ok, señor. Entonces lo que yo voy a hacer es que yo le voy a asignar un abogado de oficio en la mañana de hoy. O sea que si usted necesita un abogado para que le ayude en este caso, ellos se van a poner en contacto con usted para ayudarle.
Okay. Now, sir, I need to advise you this morning, you are charged with 1 count of driving without a license and 1 count of driving without headlights.
Tengo que informarle en la mañana de hoy que a usted se le imputa el cargo de manejar sin licencia de conducir y de manejar sin los focos.
I have reviewed the information provided to me this morning, sir, and I am going to release you today.
Yo he revisado la información que se me ha dado en la mañana de hoy y yo lo voy a poner en libertad.
Okay. However, please let me tell you that does not mean that your case is closed, but it does mean you'll be able to go home today.
Sin embargo, déjeme decirle que esto no significa que su caso se cerró, pero sí va a poder irse a su casa en el día de hoy.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta para mí, señor?
No, está bien.
No, sir.
All right, sir. Well, that is all I have for you. Good luck to you.
Ok, señor, eso es todo lo que tengo para usted. Buena suerte.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Mandarin interpreter. I have defendant
Yes, sir.
Ian Payne.
Yeah.
Yes, if you just give me 1 second.
Sure.
Ms. Before we do this, gentlemen, deputies, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
There was a Mr. Guillermo Hernandez. Does he speak English?
Yes, sir. He said he did not need an interpreter.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Ms. Day. I believe that's all we have.
Yes, sir. You have a good day, Judge.
You too. All right, Mr. Cho, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Cho, if you would please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that you will properly interpret from English to Mandarin and from Mandarin to English? And if so, say, I do.
I do.
All right, Mr. Cho, if you would please introduce yourself. And his name is Mr. Pan.
彭先生今天很荣幸担任你的口译员今天呢主要就是等下法官刚才在里面介绍过了，就是今天只是来看看你能不能让你保释出去，今天不是庭审的事情。
我知道，谢谢。
Okay, understood. Thank you.
All right. Well, good morning, Mr. Pan. My name is Judge Thorpe.
彭先生早安我是法官叫做 Thor 法官。
OK， 你好。
Hi, good
And I
morning.
want to talk. Oh, morning. I want to talk to you about the charges that have been brought against you thus far.
我现在呢要讲今天人家对你的指控到现在为止是什么指控，我来讲一下。
OK， 好，谢谢。
Okay, thank you.
But before we begin, please keep in mind that this is being recorded, and so be careful about what you tell me about the facts of your case.
在开始之前，我让你知道一下，今天所讲的这些都正在录音当中所以说在录影当中，所以说你要很清楚的有些事情你讲的时候不能随便讲，可能会有负面的影响。
OK，
I am not here to take a plea or try your case. I am simply here to give you a bond and to tell you what you've been charged with.
今天呢，我并不是在这边来听证，或者是说你要来认罪，或者是说有任何的跟这个案子来做什么解释我今天只是来看能不能给你保释。
OK，
Now, let me go over your rights with you first.
首先跟你讲一下你有哪些权利。
You have the right to remain silent.
你有权利保持沉默。
You have the right to the presumption of innocence.
你有权利能够假设你是没有罪的。
You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury.
你也是有权利能够让我们更快的能够在一个公共的场合里面能够上庭来庭审。
You have the right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify for you.
你也有权利来叫法庭把那些对你有利的那些证人或是不利证人叫他们到庭上来能够跟你对质来作证。
OK，
You have the right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you.
而且在庭上对你不利的那些证人，你可以看到，可以听到，而且可以直接质问到底是什么事情，为什么他来讲这些对你不利的证据。
OK，
You have the right to testify in your own case or offer evidence in your case if you so choose.
你如果觉得有必要的话，你甚至于可以上庭去成为证人，甚至于你还可以提供出任何的证据对你有利的证据出来的。
OK，
You have the right to an attorney to represent you, and if you cannot afford one, we may be able to appoint one for you.
那你也有权利可以找律师来代表你在做整个程序当中，而且呢，如果你没钱不够，我们可以来指派一个公派的律师给你。
OK， Thank you.
Thank you.
If you are not a citizen, some charges may harm your immigration status, and so if you are released, you should consult an attorney.
那这个程序当中，或是在这个案子里头，有可能对你的移民身份造成的影响如果你不是公民的话，所以说如果你出去的话，你应该马上找一个移民法的律师来跟他来商量一下到底怎么回事。
OK，
Now, while your case is pending here in Clayton County, you may be able to be released in one of three ways.
那当你现在还在我们的这个叫 Clayton 的这个郡县当中我们现在你还在这里正在等待当中，我们有3个方法可以让你能够保释出去的。
The first way would be to bring the total amount of your bond, either you or someone you know, down to the sheriff who will hold it until your case is closed.
第一个办法呢，就是我跟你讲的这个保释金是多少钱，你就把 这些保释金拿到我们的警长办公室来，让他能够帮你先把钱先压着啊，等到你出庭了以后，当然下次开庭回来的话，这个钱会还给你的。
Okay.
The second way would be to use a bonding company who will only require that you give them 15% of the bond I will tell you about today. However, you do not get that money back.
第二种办法就是用的是担保公司，这种呢他会跟你拿15%啊，他拿那15%就是在我跟你讲的，等一下到底你有多少钱可以保你出去的这个钱的15%，你给他之后，我们可以让你出去，但是呢这个钱呢你就是等于那个保释公司的啦，你拿不回去了。
Okay.
The third way would be if you or someone you know owns a piece of property, they could bring the deed to that property down to the sheriff who will hold it until your case is closed and then return it.
第三个办法就是，如果你本人或者是认识你的人他把他的财产、他的房屋把保释拿出来抵押，那到时候到你的案子结束之后，我们就把这个房产再还给你。
Okay.
Now, because of your charges, I'm going to tell you your bond amount. I'm also going to tell you places that you cannot go and people that you cannot have contact with.
那由于你的被控诉的这样子的性质呢，我今天会告诉你多少钱让你保释出去，而且会跟你讲说哪些地方你不能去，哪些人你不能跟他们见面。
Okay.
OK，
Please obey my bond and do not return to the place that I tell you or have contact with the person I tell you not to.
请你务必要来遵守我跟你讲的这个保释里面的条件，这些人不能够接触的，这个地方不能去的，你听好，千万要听好不要来违规。
If you violate my bond, you will be rearrested.
如果你违反了，那你一定会重新再被逮捕起来的。Understood.
If the place that I tell you not to return to is a place that you lived at before this happened, please let the sheriff know when you're released and they will escort you to get your things while your case is pending.
所以说，如果你在这个被我们来跟你来讲说这个有问题的之前在我们控诉你之前，你当时的地方就是我说叫你不能回去的地方，那这个时候呢，你要让你的警察知道说，你必须要由他来陪同你回去你的家里面或是你的地方，拿一些你自己私人的东西拿出来。
Are you working right now, Mr. Pan?
彭先生，你现在有在上班吗？
有。
Yes.
Okay. How much money are you making per month?
你现在每个月一个月赚多少钱
2-3千这样子吧。
2,000 to 3,000 about that, just like that.
Okay. Do you have any children?
有小孩吗？
有。
Yes.
Okay. How many?
几个
2个。
2.
Are you the only one who supports them?
你是不是唯一的一个在家中赚钱来养他们的人呢？
对。
Correct.
So I am going to go ahead and give you a lawyer free of charge here today to help you with your case.
我今天呢给你一个免费的律师来帮你来对付来做这个案子让你有一个免费的律师给你。
Okay. Now I need to let you know, Mr. Pan, you are charged with 1 count of simple battery family violence, and your bond is $2,500.
彭先生，我让你知道说，今天呢，你被控诉的呢是一个项目，就是被指控一个就是简单的就是攻击家暴保释金是2500块。Okay.
You are to stay away from Miss Lau, Liao.
那你要跟廖小姐要来离开，不能跟她有接触，在这个庭审还没结束之前。
Okay.
You cannot return to 5246 Halisan Court until your case is closed.
直到这个案子结束之后案子结了之后才可以回去。246号的这个房子你不能回去的，知道啊？
我知道要多久
？For how long, Your Honor?
Until the case is closed, sir. That will not be up to me.
这又不是我能够决定的，直到这个案子了结了，案子结案之后。
Okay. Now, your next court date, if you don't bond out, will be July 2nd at 8:30 a.m. and it's going to be on Zoom like we are here today.
对，那下一次开庭的时间，如果你在这期间当中都没有被保释出去的话，就是1个月以后啊，7月2号啊8点半，就像今天一样，会在庭上来做一个叫做这叫初步的听证。
Okay.
OK，
If you do bond out, please let the sheriff's office know where you will be residing so that they can make sure that your next court date is sent to you in the mail.
那如果呢你有在这期间被保释出去了，那记得请你让警官知道，警察知道说你到底住在什么地方，到时候他们可以把你寄个通知，知道哪一天是你应该回来到庭上来上庭的初审的时间。
Okay.
OK，
All right, Mr. Pan, do you have any questions of me?
那彭先生，你现在有没有什么问题要问我的呢？
没有。
OK，No，
All right, sir, then I believe that's all I have for you. Good luck to you.
就这么多祝你好运。
谢谢。
Thank you. All right, deputies thank you, Mr. Cho.
Yeah.
Good morning, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you. I'll be excused, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Deputies, before we begin, I'm sorry, I meant to say, Mr. Ernesto, the first gentleman, he needs to sign a waiver.
Yeah, we already got him to sign one, Judge.
Okay, great. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do on
What?
Jot since Mr. Pan was on.
Yeah, so we're gonna do all the women first, and then we're gonna do Jots first. So I guess the first female that we should have is Barry, correct?
Yes, sir. I've got Barry, Doc, and
Doc.
Gasper.
Oh, okay, Barry. Okay.
Barry, Doc, DOCK, and then Gasper.
Yes, sir. I got Barry, I got Doc, I got Gasper.
All right, are you Miss Barry? I'm sorry.
I can't hear you.
Are you Miss Barry?
Yes, sir.
All right, Miss Barry, you're charged with 1 count of battery family violence, ma'am. Your bond amount is $4,000, ma'am. You're gonna have to stay away from the alleged victim in this matter, Kiera Holden, and also from the address of 3146 Callipee Lane. Do you understand that?
That's not my address.
Okay, it doesn't have to be your address. I just need you to understand you're gonna have to stay away from there. Do you understand?
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay, now, as far as currently, I'm showing that you're working, is that correct? Said you can't hear me?
You hear now?
You come a little closer.
You hear now?
I was saying you are working right now, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so based on the information you provided, ma'am, I am not gonna be able to appoint you a lawyer, so you will have to get one on your own if you need one, okay?
Okay.
Now, earlier I mentioned preliminary hearing. You have the right to that preliminary hearing because you're charged with the misdemeanors, or you can waive your right to that hearing. Which would you like to do? Have the hearing or waive it?
Had to hear.
Okay, so ma'am, I'm showing here that this morning you are requesting the hearing. And so your next court date, ma'am, should you not make bond, is going to be July 2nd, 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Again, that's going to be July 2nd, 8:30 a.m. via Zoom, and your bond is $4,000, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, next up should be Ms. Doc and then
Yes.
Jasper.
Judge, Miss is not letting Miss Barry sign on my end. It's not giving option to review and sign for her.
Let me see. Oh, I see why. Give me 1 second here.
Okay.
July 2nd, 8:30 a.m. Okay.
All right. I got it, Judge.
Yep, you should be able to sign now. There we go. All right, and are you Ms. Doc?
Yes, sir.
What time?
All right, Ms. Doc, you are charged here with 1 count of possession of marijuana and 1 count of improper headlights, ma'am. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Doc, based on the information that I was provided here this morning, I am, ma'am, going to go ahead and release you today. Are you currently working, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, how much are you earning per month?
I'm self-employed, so it kind of depends. So I can say like monthly, I can make like around $3,500.
Okay,
every
all
time.
right, so
So it's
based
like
on that,
7,000 a month. Yeah.
okay, so based on that information, ma'am, I am not going to be able to appoint you a court-appointed lawyer here this morning. So that means you will have to hire your own lawyer if you desire one. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, because you are being released this morning, that means you are waiving your right to a preliminary hearing. And so when you get the opportunity, the deputies here in a few moments are going to have a piece of paper for you to sign, or you're going to sign electronically. And then that'll be all we have for you this morning, Ms. Doc. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, after Ms. Gasper, I have Henderson, Jefferson, and Johnson. Are you Ms. Gasper?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Gasper, you are charged here with 1 count of criminal trespass. Give me 1 moment here. Let me pull your paperwork. All right, so you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Ma'am, are you working right now?
I don't even know anymore.
Okay. When was the last time you worked?
Yesterday.
Okay, so when you say you don't know anymore, you don't know whether or not you'll still have that job?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. How much were you making per month?
It depends. I was over the road.
Okay. So right now, ma'am, based on that, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning, okay? So you'll get a lawyer free of charge. Do you understand? Now, based on the information I was provided here, Ms. Gasper, I am going to release you today. So please understand, it doesn't mean your case is over. I'm just letting you go home today. So please make sure that when you leave here that you advise a good address so they know where to send your next court date. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
No.
All right, man. Well, then that's all I have for you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Oh, actually, ma'am, I'm sorry. Before you go, just want to make sure that you know the deputies there are going to have something for you to sign. So please make sure you sign that before you you go back into the holding area. Okay.
Okay,
All right. Thank you.
thank you.
Next up should be, and are you Miss Henderson?
Yes.
All right. So Miss Henderson, you are charged with 1 count of aggravated assault and 1 count of battery family violence. Ma'am, because you are charged with felonies here, I'm going to go ahead and I have to appoint you your next court date. Should you not make your bond, ma'am, your next court date is going to be July 1st, and that's going to be at 2024 at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, let me ask you, ma'am, prior to being incarcerated, were you working?
Yes, I was
And about how much money were you making per month?
about $1,000.
Okay. So I am, Ms. Henderson, going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer. So your lawyer will be able to help you free of charge on your case. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, also, Ms. Henderson, your bond amount on the aggravated assault is $20,000. Your bond amount on the battery family violence is $3,500 for a total bond of $23,500. Do you understand? Ma'am?
You had cut out.
I was saying your total bond amount is $23,500. 20 on the ag assault, $3,500 on the battery. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You do have special conditions, ma'am. So should you make your bond, you are to stay away from Patrick Graham and stay away from 4 Willow Lane. If that's someplace that you used to live at prior to this happening, ma'am, please understand, as I said earlier, you make your bond or when you make your bond, that you need to get with the sheriff's office so that they can then escort you to that address to get items that belong to you. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Okay.
All right, after Miss Jefferson should be Johnson, Smith, and I have Ward.
No, I'm Jefferson.
Yes, I got you, Miss Jefferson. Are you Miss Jefferson, Data Jefferson?
Yes.
All right, so Miss Jefferson, you are charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, family violence, ma'am. Your bond amount is $3,500. You have a special condition, ma'am, and that's to stay away from 11989 Harbor Town Parkway. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, earlier I asked about a preliminary hearing, ma'am. Would you like to have your hearing or waive your hearing?
Have it.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and set your preliminary hearing date. It's going to be July 2nd, 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom, okay?
Yes.
Now, the last question I have to ask you is, are you working right now?
Yes.
And how much are you earning per month?
I have like $1,000.
Okay, so I am, ma'am, gonna go ahead and I'm gonna appoint you a court-appointed lawyer. So you'll get a lawyer free of charge to help you on your case. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me before we conclude, Ms. Jefferson?
No.
All right, so Ms. Jefferson, that's all I have for you. Again, the bond is $2,500. You do have that stay away. I've given you a court-appointed lawyer, and so you should be contacted here shortly. Good luck to you, ma'am. Next up should be Johnson. Are you Ms. Johnson?
Yes, sir.
Give me 1 second, Ms. Johnson. All right, Ms. Patrice, here we go. Ms. Patrice, you're charged with 1 count of driving with a suspended license. I've reviewed the information that I was provided here this morning, ma'am, and I am going to go ahead and release you this morning. Doesn't mean, as I said earlier, that your case is closed. What it does mean, however, is that you will be allowed to go home today. So before you leave, please make sure that the sheriff has a good address for you. And so then that way, your next court date will be sent to you in the mail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Based on the information I have, also, Ms. Johnson, please let me advise you that I am also appointing you a court-appointed lawyer here this morning. So you will have a lawyer free of charge, okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, Ms. Johnson, any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, that's all I have for you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up should be Jermika Smith.
It's Jernica.
Oh, excuse me, I apologize. Jernika Smith. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Ms. Smith. So I've reviewed the information here. You're charged with several traffic charges: failure to register within 30 days, to change your driver's license, suspended license, operating a vehicle without insurance, and tag light violation. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
Now, based on the information I've been provided here today, ma'am, I am going to go ahead and release you this morning. So it doesn't mean your case is over, but it does mean that you're going to go home today. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, so Ms. Smith, also based on the information that I've been provided, I am unable to appoint you a lawyer here this morning. And so that does mean that if you need a lawyer to assist you on these charges, you will have to obtain your own. Do you understand that?
Okay.
All right, ma'am. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
I don't. Okay.
All right, so the deputies will have a document there for you to sign. And then once you sign that document, ma'am, I believe that's all we have for you this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And are you Ms. Ward?
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Ward, you're charged with 1 count of giving false information to a law enforcement officer. Your bond amount, ma'am, is $1,500. Are you currently working, ma'am?
No.
All right, so I am going to go ahead, ma'am, and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer here this morning free of charge to help you on your case. Lastly, as to a preliminary hearing, ma'am, would you like to have that hearing or waive that hearing?
Wait then.
Okay. So I am going to show that you requested that I waive your preliminary hearing this morning. So based on that, I'll send your case directly to the prosecutor. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
All right, ma'am. So unless you have any questions for me, that is all I have for you this morning. The deputies there will have a piece of paper for you to sign, okay?
Yeah.
All right, good luck to you, ma'am. All right. Should be Miss Whitney. I have Williams and Worsham right behind her. Are you Miss Whitney?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Miss Whitney here, you are charged with 1 count of battery family violence, ma'am. Your bond amount is $3,500. You do have special conditions, and those are to stay away from the alleged victim, Daniel Rodriguez, as well as the address of 10700 Panhandle Road. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And as I said earlier, if it is somewhere that you used to live prior to this happening, please understand that unless your bond is modified, that you got to get with the sheriff to assist you in getting any items out of there that belong to you, okay? Now, Ms. Whitney, I have gone ahead and appointed you a court-appointed lawyer here this morning free of charge to help you on your case. Lastly, the last question I have for you is preliminary hearing. Would you like to have your hearing, Ms. Williams, or waive your hearing? Do you know?
Not sure.
Okay, that's okay. What I'm gonna do, just to protect you, I'm gonna set the preliminary hearing date. It's gonna be July 2nd, 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. If you make your bond that I've given you already, that bond amount being $3,500, you will automatically waive that court date, okay? And if that happens, your next court date will come in the mail. All right, so if you make bond, you won't have that July 2nd date. If you don't make your bond, July 2nd will be the next time that you come to court, okay? Do you understand that, Ms. Whitney?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Whitney, do you have any questions about this process or anything that has happened thus far?
No, sir.
All right, man, well, that's all I have for you. Good luck to you. All right, should be Williams and Worsham. Are you Miss Williams, Sierra Williams?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Ms. Williams, you are charged with 1 count of driving with suspended license, 1 count of hit and run, and 1 count of failure to maintain lane. The suspended license carries a bond amount of $1,500, the hit and run $3,000, and the failure to maintain lane $1,000 for a total bond of $5,500. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Now, as far as a preliminary hearing, would you like to have that hearing or waive that hearing, ma'am?
Waive it.
All right, so ma'am, I'm going to show that you have waived your hearing this morning. Now, lastly, I reviewed the information that you provided to us this morning. Based on that information, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer free of charge for you this morning. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, ma'am, so that's all I have for you. So unless you have questions of me, that's all I got.
Thank you.
All right, good luck to you.
Hey, Judge,
Yes, sir.
it's not letting Miss,
It may just need to catch up. You talking about for Williams?
it was Miss Whitney, but I think I just got it.
Okay. Yeah, it may take it a moment. Are you Miss Worsham?
I am.
Ms. Worsham, you are charged with 1 count of theft by taking, ma'am. And based on the information that I've been provided here this morning, ma'am, I am going to go ahead and release you this morning, okay? Do you hear me there, Ms. Worsham?
I did. Yes, sir.
Now, please understand, ma'am, that does not mean that your case is concluded. It simply means that you'll be out pending the resolution. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, ma'am, do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
All right, so because you're being released, ma'am, the deputies there will have a document for you to sign. And once you sign that document, then, ma'am, that's all I have for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I believe now we're off jots for the women. First up, I have Miss Dorsey. Are you Miss Dorsey?
Yes, sir.
You saw me about.
Give me one moment here, Miss Dorsey. I think they gave me your paperwork, Miss Dorsey.
It's Dorsey, yes.
I'm sorry, just 1 second, Miss Dorsey.
Okay.
I, for some reason, do not have
Okay.
paperwork.
Do you want me to sign it?
Okay, so Miss Dorsey, first question I have before we get started, you advised me that you have an attorney already?
Yes, I do have an attorney.
Okay, and you put here on the paperwork, it was a Mr. Derek Wright?
Yes, Derek Wright.
Okay, have you spoken with Mr. Wright?
Not this morning, but we spoke on yesterday and he said that he was supposed to appear at this hearing. Or whatever
Okay.
this was at 11 something.
Okay,
November
so
conversation.
obviously he's not here. He may not have just been able to find us or to identify where we were here this morning. So obviously we're not going to hold that against you here this morning. I wanted to make sure of that because let me ask you this: have you already paid him?
I think my husband and my mother have, and they said they had some type of bond that they paid already late last night.
Okay, so you're not exactly 100% sure.
No, all I know is that they took him a fee and that they paid a bond and I'm supposed to be getting out. I don't have any other information because I didn't have money on the phone to use it.
Okay. So, Ms. Dorsey, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, ma'am. I am going to go ahead and grant you a bond in the amount of $3,500 here this morning. What I'm going to do, since you don't know, and what I was doing was trying to locate that information, but you don't know whether or not they have gone ahead and actually paid Mr. Wright.
They told me they
wanna-
paid him. Okay, I don't know, but I'm listening, sir. You go ahead.
Well, so here's what I want to do this morning, just to protect you, is I want to go ahead, I'm going to appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning, okay? And so you'll just have that lawyer here kind of on standby. So if Mr. Wright, in fact, ends up being your lawyer, then he'll know what to do. He'll know how to go ahead and substitute himself in for that other person. Do you understand?
I understand.
Okay, and if it turns out that unfortunately, Mr. Wright and yourself and your family don't end up in a relationship with one another, you'll already have a lawyer that's been appointed to you, okay?
Okay.
So again, your bond amount is going to be $3,500. I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning. And then, Ms. Dorsey, as far as a preliminary hearing, do you know whether or not you would like to have that hearing or waive that hearing? How you'd like to proceed on that?
I would like to have the hearing.
Okay, ma'am, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set your preliminary hearing court date. And that court date, if you don't make your bond, so if you hadn't bonded out already, it's going to be July 2nd of 2024, and that's going to be at 8:30 a.m. and that's going to be via Zoom. Again, that's July 2nd, 2024, 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, how will I have the information to keep up with the dates?
Well, if you have a moment there, usually they have like some sort of paperwork or something there, a piece of paper for you to write on around there, that you may be able to hold on to that information until you're able to speak with your lawyer.
Okay, I'm doing that now. Yes, sir. And again, you said July, sir?
July 2nd. That'll be your court day. Okay?
Okay, thank you. And you said if I bond out, then I just do it.
Yeah,
via
then
Zoom.
if you bond out, man, you won't have that court date. And so that means your next court date, you'll get that in the mail.
Okay,
All right?
yes, that's it.
Yes, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. All right, I believe it. And are you Ms. Stinson?
Yes.
All right, so Ms. Stinson, you are charged here with 1 count of simple assault, ma'am. Your bond amount, ma'am, is going to be $2,500. You do, ma'am, have a special condition, and that is to stay away from the alleged victim, a Miss Kelia, Kelia. Last name is Clark. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, so now, Ms. Stinson, because you are charged with misdemeanors here, you have the right to a preliminary hearing, ma'am, or you have the right to waive that hearing. Which would you like to do? Have the hearing or waive it?
Have it.
Okay, so I'm going to show here that you are asking that we set that hearing date for you. So it's going to be July 2nd of 2024, and that's going to be at 8:30 a.m. and that's going to be via Zoom. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Again,
So
that's
July 2nd, 2024.
yes, ma'am, July 2nd. So you'll have that court date unless and until you make bond. So if you make bond, then you won't have that court date, okay?
Okay. And you said 8 a.m. or 8:30?
8:30.
8:30.
Okay. Now, understand here, Ms. Stinson, you said that you have a lawyer, Mr. Derek Wright, as well?
Yes.
Okay. Until Miss, I don't know if you heard me talking earlier, but do you know whether or not Mr. Wright has been paid?
I believe he has, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, so
I haven't
until
been
you,
able to use the phone.
until you know that for sure, I'm gonna go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer just in case. And then if it turns out that in fact he has been appointed, or excuse me, you have paid him, then we'll go ahead and he'll know how to substitute out the people that are representing you right now, okay?
Okay.
And then lastly, for you, ma'am, as far as your preliminary hearing, would you like to have your hearing or waive it?
I said have it. You gave me July
Oh,
2nd.
excuse me. Yes, I did. July 2nd at 8:30 a.m. All right, ma'am. That's all I've got for you here this morning. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. What's your name, sir?
Last name Barkley.
Give me 1 second here. Let me flip the gentleman. All right. All right. And is it Jaquatus? Excuse me, not.
Yes, sir.
Is it Jaquatus? Okay, am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yes, sir. You did good.
All right, so Mr. Barkley, you are charged with 1 count of harassing communications, 1 count of obstruction of an officer. Those are both misdemeanor charges. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Barkley, you also, because these are misdemeanors, you have the right to a preliminary hearing, sir, or you have the right to waive that hearing. Which would you like to do? Would you like to have that hearing or waive that hearing, sir?
For the misdemeanors, I wouldn't waive it.
Okay, you said for the misdemeanors, what are you, do you believe you have other charges pending?
I believe they told me I had 3 charges.
Okay, are you talking about the battery?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
But you didn't just mention it, so I figured it.
right. I'm only talking about those right now.
Okay, yes, sir.
So just as to the harassing communications and the obstruction, we're waiving, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Waive the preliminary.
Okay, all right. So on the harassing and the obstruction, I'm gonna show that you are waiving the preliminary hearing. I've given you, let me give you your bond. Harassing again is 3,000. The obstruction is 2,500. You do have special conditions. They are to stay away from Nia Robinson and Tashone Robinson. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Your total bond on that one is 500. Based on the information you have given me, Mr. Barkley.
5,000, not to cut you off.
Yes, 5,500. Yes.
Oh, 5,500. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So based on the information you've given me, I am going to appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, you're wanting to, let me ask you this. So you're wanting to have your preliminary hearing on the battery, is that right?
If you just didn't mention it with the misdemeanor, so I was guessing.
Right. So, but that's what I'm asking you now. You're wanting to set that preliminary hearing date?
If I can waive it, I would like to waive that too.
Okay, so you'd prefer to waive it? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it this way. All right. So
that's a misdemeanor also?
yes, sir, it is.
Okay, yeah, I just want to waive all that. It's
All
7
right.
to 10 business days, right? Not to get up.
Say that one more time.
It's 7 to 10 business days to get in court if I waive them correctly.
Not necessarily, but it'll be quicker than the prelim.
Okay, well, yeah, quicker than the prelim. That's
Okay. So again, harassing communications, obstruction, your bond on that's 5,500, 3 on the harassing, 2,500 on the obstruction.
yes.
I've appointed you a court-appointed lawyer. You know you got to stay away from those two, the Robinson family.
Yes, sir.
You'll have to sign a document for that one.
Yes,
And
sir.
then on the second one, it's a separate charge you'll see, and it's 1 count of battery family violence from a separate incident. Now, I was looking at that. That's why I wanted to clarify what it was you wanted to do, Mr. Barkley. You cannot, because that is a felony charge, sir, you're not going to be able to waive that.
Okay.
Okay. So you cannot waive that one because that's been upgraded to a felony because you have a previous battery family violence. That's actually got to go to a preliminary hearing, and that's going to be July 1st if you don't make your bond at 8:30 a.m. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. So I have a bond for that one too?
Yes, I'm going to give you that here in 1 second.
Yes, sir.
I'm just making some notes here for your attorney. Okay. All right. So on that felony charge of battery family violence, your preliminary is going to be, as I said, 7/1/24, 8:30 a.m. Your bond is $10,000 on that one, and you are to stay away from a Miss Destiny Curry. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you also have to stay away from the address of 880 Marion Court. Do you understand that?
Question.
Yes, sir.
That's my house. That's not her house. She don't
All
stay
right.
there.
I understand, but right now the allegations are that you both are living there together.
That's not, okay, I'm not
Hold on, sir.
arguing.
Hold
Yes,
on, sir. Mr. Barkley. If it turns out that that's incorrect, that's what you got a lawyer for, sir. The lawyer will be able to correct that and change that. But for right now, I've got to protect the alleged victim, and I'm not going to be allowed to let you return there. But you know, if it turns out that that's incorrect, the lawyer that you have free of charge is going to help change that for you. Okay.
Yes,
But I
sir.
can't do it today.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Barkley, do you have any other questions of me?
I can see that. I just want to write my bond amounts down because it's not on this paper.
So it's 3,000 on the harassing, 2,500 on the obstruction, and then 10,000 on the battery. And the deputy, he will have to sign a waiver on one of his counts.
Yes, sir, we got you, Judge.
And then next up should be Benton, Burt, and Carter.
All right, John.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, are you Mr. Benton?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Benton, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery family violence, sir. I'm showing here currently, sir, that you're on probation.
My probation officer.
Hold on, sir. You don't want to talk to me about that.
Okay.
What I'm looking at right now is showing that you are. If I'm incorrect, your lawyer will correct it. But it's showing that you're currently on probation out of Fulton County. So I am not permitted to give you a bond here today, unfortunately. And so, you know, that's kind of where we are. Let me say this, as far as any special conditions, you do have to stay away from the alleged victim, a Mr. Ricky Calhoun, and also from the address of 1012 Brookstone, I believe it's Drive. Do you understand that?
No, sir. That's my home. That's why I pay bills.
Sir, did you hear what I was saying earlier about that, though? Right now, the allegations, hold on, sir. Listen to me now. The allegations, Mr. Ben, are that you and this gentleman were living together. If
No,
that's
he's not on my lease.
Sir, Mr. Ben, if that's incorrect, your lawyer will correct it and they will change it. But the information that I have, the limited information I have right now, tells me you all were living together. If that is incorrect, it will be changed and you will be allowed to return back to your home. But for the time being, sir, you cannot, based on this order, until it's modified. Do you understand, Mr. Benton? Mr. Benton, do you understand, sir?
Sir.
Okay. Well, again, right now, I am not allowed to give you bond. You have to stay away from that address, 1012 Brookstone and Mr. Calhoun. You've got 2 upcoming court dates, sir. Your first court date is going to be July 1st. That's going to be your preliminary hearing at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Your next court date is going to be your bond hearing date. That's going to be July 12th, and that's going to be 8:30 a.m., and that is also going to be via Zoom. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All All right, now, because of some information that you provided here to me this morning, Mr. Benton, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer free of charge. So you will get that as well. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions, Mr. Benton?
I was just only asking because, I mean, I have a question
Mr.
pertaining.
Benton, if it pertains to that property, I'm not going to be able to answer it. So
Yes, I was just gonna say, cause he's moving away from
Mr. Benton, if it pertains to that property, I cannot answer it this morning, sir.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Judge, Mr. Barkley, he's not able to sign the battery family violence.
Mr.
Mr. Barkley, he can't sign the battery family violence. He was able to sign on the misdemeanors, but he's not able to sign on the because they came in separate. They didn't come in together.
Right. On my end, I signed it. That's weird. I don't know what to do. I may have to contact our IT department on that. We'll just have to note it, and then I'll send an email later today and see what they can do.
Okay, come on, Mr. Burt.
It should be Mr. Burt, Carter, and then Denham.
He's got a sign.
All right. Are you Mr. Is it Burt?
Yes.
All right. So, Mr. Burt, you are charged with 1 count of driving under the influence, 1 count of hit and run, 1 count of disregarding traffic device, no proof of insurance, no license, failure to register, concealing a tag, possession of THC oil, and possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana. Third, the THC vape is a felony, and so your next court date is going to be July 1st of 2024, and that's going to be at 30, and that's going to be via Zoom.
Sir, has that been tested? Because my wife has a medical card. We're from
So, Mr. Burt,
Yes.
I cannot discuss. Remember what I said earlier? I can't get into those kinds of things. That would be
Yes.
something for you and your lawyer. Do you understand?
Sure.
I'm simply here today to advise you of what you've been charged with, and to also let you know if you qualify an attorney, and then give you your next court date. Do you understand? So I've advised you of what you've been charged with. Let me tell you, your next court date again is July 1st of 2024 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. I'm giving you a lawyer free of charge, sir, to help you on your case, okay?
Yes.
Let me tell you your bond amount. The DUI is $2,500. The hit and run is $3,000. The traffic device is $500. Insurance is $1,000. No license, $500. Registered vehicle, $500. Concealing the plate, $500. THC, $3,500. Less than an ounce of marijuana is $1,000. So your total bond, sir, is $13,000. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Now, do you have any questions about the procedure? Not about what's been tested or what hasn't been, but about what we've talked about otherwise this morning. Do you have any questions, Mr. Berg?
On the misdemeanor, sir, is it okay to waive my
It's not, sir, because you also have a felony charge, so it all goes together. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you. Be Carter, Denham, and Elder.
Hey, as soon as the gentlemen are up, sooner they're done, the next person step up first. As soon as you get done, you go.
All right, are you Mr. Carter?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Carter, you're charged with 1 count of contributing to the delinquency of a minor, 1 count of harassing communications. The bond amount, sir, for the delinquency is $1,500. For the harassing communications, $3,000, for a total of $4,500. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
Now, with the information you provided to me this morning, sir, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a lawyer free of charge. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Lastly, you are entitled to a preliminary hearing, or you can waive that hearing, sir. Which would you like to do this morning? Have it or waive it?
Waive.
All right, sir. I'm going to show here that you are asking me to waive your preliminary hearing this morning. So as you step there to your right, the deputies will have a piece of paper for you to sign, sir. And once you sign that piece of paper, that will be all I have for you this morning. Good luck to you, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Benton, he's already gone. I tried to get him signed early, but it wouldn't allow me to let him sign. So you might have to send something. He's gone.
Okay, so right now it's Benton, it won't let him sign, and then I think it was Barkley. Is that right, Deputy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Benton and Barkley. Let me write those down and let them know.
What is green screen?
All right. And is it Mr. Denham?
Yes, sir. How you doing now?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
Not so good.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Get up out
sir.
of here.
Hopefully we can get this through and get you on your way.
Let's
Mr.
do
Denham, you're charged with one count of battery family violence, sir. That is a misdemeanor. Your bond amount is $3,500. You do have special conditions, and those are to stay away from Colony Shy and from the address of 302 Morrow Road, Building 66, Apartment A. Do you understand?
Yeah, yes, sir.
So if that was a place that you were living at prior to,
I
sir,
heard from the last people.
there you go, sir. So last thing I need to ask you, you're entitled to that preliminary hearing. Would you like to have that hearing or waive?
Waive it.
All right, sir. So I am going to show that you are waiving your right to the preliminary hearing this morning. And so as you step to your right there, the deputies will have a
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Not pertaining to the case, but so I'm actually a family man. I got like 5 kids. Anyway, like you can kind of lower the bond for me, like this, this first of the month, and I like please, like if you can, like I know you got some type of please. If you can.
sir, unfortunately, as to these types of charges, I don't have any real leeway on that. So it is what it's got to be today.
All right, I
All
had
right,
to
thank
ask.
you. Yes, sir.
So if I don't have it, how long I would sit, or you wouldn't know?
So I can't tell you that. I mean, your next court date, if you don't make your bond, you're going to be advised of that shortly by the prosecutor, by your attorney.
Okay. All right, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. You know, you, Mr. Elder?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Elder, you're charged with one count of driving with a suspended license, one count of child safety restraint violation. The suspended license carries a bond amount of $1,500. The child restraint $500. Your total bond is $2,000. Do you understand, sir?
Yes.
Now, I talked earlier about a preliminary hearing, sir. Would you like to have that hearing or waive it?
I'll have it.
Okay, so I'm going to show that you're requesting the hearing. So your next court date, should you not make your bond, sir, is going to be July 2nd. That's going to be 8:30 a.m. and that's going to be via Zoom. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Again, sir, next court date, July 2nd, 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Your bond amount is $2,000, $1,500 on the license, $500 for the child restraint violation. I'm also, based on the information you provided to me this morning, sir, going to give you a lawyer free of charge. That means you will have someone to assist you on your case free of charge. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, sir. Any questions I can answer for you?
If my bond amount was 2,500, and you said it was 2,000, do I get like the rest of that money back? Because I already paid bond.
If you've bonded out already, sir, then you won't have to bond out again. Your bond is what it was. But right now, I don't have information that you have, but you just won't have to pay this bond at all.
Okay. Appreciate it.
All right. Yes, sir. And are you Mr. Elliott?
Yes, Reginald.
Okay, Mr. Reginald Elliott, you are charged with one count of DUI, one count of failure to maintain lane, one count of operating a vehicle without adequate insurance and expired tag. After the DUI, your bond amount is $2,500. The maintain lane, $500. Without an adequate load, it's $500, and expired tag, $500. Your total bond amount, sir, is $4,000. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, based on the information you provided to me this morning, sir, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a lawyer free of charge, so you won't have to pay for one. Last question I have for you: would you like to have your preliminary hearing date, sir, or waive that date?
Waive it.
All right, sir. So, based on what I hear this morning, you are requesting that I waive your preliminary hearing. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, sir. So again, your bond amount total is $4,000. I'm giving you a lawyer free of charge. I told you, we discussed your preliminary hearing. You've waived that date. So that's all I've got for you, sir. There's going to be a document there that you'll have to sign to your right, and then that'll be it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And are you is it Jeremiah Elliott?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Jeremiah, you're charged with one count of giving false information to a law enforcement officer. Based on the information I was provided this morning, sir, I am going to go ahead and release you this morning. Now, let me tell you, that doesn't mean that your case is closed. It just means that you're going to go home today. Do you understand that?
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Now, that means be on the lookout in the mail for your next court date. Also, based on the information we provided this morning, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a lawyer free of charge, so you will not have to pay for a lawyer, okay?
Thank you.
All right, sir, that's all I have for you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yes. Next up should be Hollis, Holloway, and I believe it's Jenkins. All right, are you Mr. Hollis?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Hollis, you are charged here with 1 count of criminal trespass, sir. Your bond amount is $1,500. You do have a special condition, and that's to stay away from 834 S 863 Highway 138 East. Do you understand?
Yes, stay away from that plaza.
Yes, sir. Now, as far as your preliminary hearing goes, would you like to have your hearing or waive it?
I would like to have it.
All right, sir. So should you not make your bond, your next court date is going to be July 2nd at 8:30 a.m. and that's going to be via Zoom. Do you understand that?
Thank you, sir.
Again, so that's only if you don't make your bond. July 2nd, 8:30 a.m. via Zoom will be your preliminary hearing. Your bond amount is $1,500. Now, also because of some information you provided this morning, I am going to grant you a lawyer free of charge. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Do you have any questions of me this morning?
No, sir.
All right, so that's all I have for you. Good luck to you, Mr. Hollis.
Thank you.
Thank you. And are you Mr. Holloway?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Holloway, you are charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, 1 count of disorderly conduct, 4 counts of terroristic threat, 1 count of simple assault, and 1 count of obstruction of an officer. These are all misdemeanors, sir. As to your preliminary hearing first, would you like to have your hearing or waive it?
Yeah, I have my yeah.
All right, so your next court date, sir, should you not make your bond, is going to be July 2nd, 2024, and that's going to be at 8:30 a.m. and that's going to be via Zoom. Do you understand that, sir? I'm sorry?
Yeah.
All right, so again, it's July 2nd, 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Now, as to your bond amount, we're going to go through each charge. The bond amount for the trespass is $2,500. The disorderly conduct's $1,500. For each terroristic threat, it's $5,000. And for the simple assault is $1,000. And for the misdemeanor obstruction is $2,500. So your total bond is $27,500. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Is that a yes?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Lastly, sir, based on some of the information that you provided, I have gone ahead and appointed you a court-appointed lawyer, so that means you will get a lawyer free of charge to help you in your case. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
You understand that, Mr. Holloway?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me then, Mr. Holloway? All right, good luck to you, sir. All right, should be Jenkins, Mattress, Miller.
Judge, it's not letting, Mr. Darius sign.
Darius Hollis.
Yes, sir.
Jesus. Okay, let me add him to the list. So I've got Benton, Barkley, and Hollis. All right. And are you Mr. Jenkins?
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Jenkins, you're charged with 1 count of suspended license, 1 count of following too closely, 1 count of possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana. Suspended license, your bond amount is $3,000. Following too closely, $1,000. Less than 1 ounce of marijuana, $1,000. So your total bond amount, sir, is $5,000. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, based on the information you provided to me, sir, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer free of charge for your case. So the last question I have for you, would you like me to waive your preliminary hearing or would you like to have your preliminary hearing, sir?
Waive it.
All right, sir. So I am going to show that you are requesting that I waive your preliminary hearing. And so that means that the deputies there will have a piece of paper for you to sign. Once you sign that piece of paper, sir, that's all I've got for you here this morning. Do you have any questions for me about anything we discussed here this morning?
No, sir.
All right, sir, then that's all I have for you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next.
All right, and your name, sir?
Joe Mark, an actress.
All right. All right, give me 1 second, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Mattress, so Mr. Mattress, you are charged here by the police officer here with 1 count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. That is a felony charge. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Now, because that is a felony, that means that should you not make your bond, you automatically are going to get a court date called a preliminary hearing. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be July 1st of 2024, and that's going to be at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, as to your bond, sir, your bond amount is $3,000. And you do have a special condition, and that is to stay away from Walden Living Apartments homes. I've got, looks like building 923. Is that, do you
Yes, sir.
understand that?
Yeah, I done moved from there already.
All right, and I understand you may not live there right now, but I need you to understand that as of right now, though, you can't go back to that address. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Other than that, the only other thing I need to advise you, sir, is I've gone ahead based on the information that you provided to me this morning, and I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer free of charge here this morning. And
All
so you will have a lawyer that you don't have to pay for at this point, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, so Mr. Mattress, do you have any other questions of me?
No, sir, that's it.
All right, that's all I've got for you then, sir. Good luck to you. All right, it should be Miller, Mincy, and Smith. All right, are you Mr. Miller?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Miller, you are charged here with 1 count of hijacking a motor vehicle and 1 count of aggravated assault, family violence. Now, because this is a felony, your next court date, sir, is going to be your preliminary hearing, July 1st of 2024 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Do you understand that?
On Zoom?
Yes, sir. It's going to be via Zoom like today. Because of the allegations you are charged with here, hijacking a motor vehicle to be specific, I am not permitted to give you bond, sir. And so you are going to be on a no bond right now today for both the hijacking and the aggravated assault. So your next court date is going to be July 1st, and then you're going to have your bond hearing date of July 12th. Should you make a bond and make that bond at a later time, sir, you will have a special condition, and that is to stay away from the alleged victim in this matter, a Miss Shavonda Miller. Do you understand that, sir?
No, but I can ask a question. I don't know how I must stay away from. She must not be seen around me because she got caught going from me. And she put me in
So,
trouble.
Mr. Miller, I can only go with what I've got here right now. What I've got here is the allegations. And so I'm asking that you stay away from her. If you see her coming down the street, you go the opposite direction. Do you understand?
So I'm not getting no band today.
Mr. Miller, you're not hearing me. Right now, sir, stay away. Okay?
So on the first I get banned, I get the hearing for the ban.
Say that again?
On the first, when I come before, I get the hearing for the ban.
No, the bond hearing is the 12th. They may consider it on the 1st, but your hearing on the 1st is for your prelim, but they may negotiate bond with you that day. They may. Okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck to you.
Come on, sir, next one up.
All right, are you Mr. Mincy?
Yes.
All right, so Mr. Mincy, you are charged here with 1 count of simple battery, 1 count of obstruction, 1 count of false information to a law enforcement officer, and 1 count of obstruction. These are all misdemeanors, sir, so you have the right to a preliminary hearing, or you can waive that preliminary hearing. What would you like to do this morning?
I would like to go to the next hearing.
You would like to do what?
Go to the next hearing.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and set that date for you, sir. So it's gonna be July 2nd at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. That's only gonna happen if you don't make your bond. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, you do have special conditions on your bond here, sir, that we're gonna go over. Again, you're charged with that simple battery, the obstruction, the false information of law enforcement officer, and obstruction. Your bond amount as to the obstruction is $2,500, the false information $1,500, the obstruction $2,500. But as to that battery, that simple battery, I am not permitted to give you bond this morning, sir, because I'm showing that you are currently on probation. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, as far as the alleged victim, You are to stay away from Miss Carrie Thomas, and you are also to stay away from the address of 6686 Mount Zion Road. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Lastly, sir, because you're on a no bond, you will have a new court date. You got two that you're gonna have coming up. The first is gonna be, as we said, a preliminary hearing July 2nd. The next is gonna be the bond hearing date where they can reconsider your bond, July 12th, and that's gonna be at 8:30 a.m. and that's gonna be via Zoom. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about anything of me, sir?
No, I don't.
All right, sir. Well, then I have gone ahead and gone over everything for you. I think I told you I'm going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer here this morning as well. So I believe that's all I've got for you. Good luck to you, sir. And your name, sir?
Diego Smith.
1 second. Mr. Smith. All right, Mr. Smith, you are charged here. You're charged here with 1 count of criminal trespass and 1 count of possession of drug-related objects. Those are both misdemeanors, sir. So because they're misdemeanors, you have a right to a preliminary hearing or you have a right to waive that hearing. Which would you like to do, have it or waive it?
I'll waive it.
All right, sir, so I'm going to show that you are waiving your hearing. So as soon as we are done here, the deputies will have a document for you to sign over there, okay? Now, based on the information you provided, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer here free of charge. So you will have a lawyer that will be able to assist you on your case. Lastly, the bond amount for that trespass is $1,500. The bond amount for the drug-related objects is $500. Your total bond is going to be $2,000. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Smith, do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
All right, then that's all I have of you, Mr. Smith. Good luck to you. I believe I've got Taylor and Taylor. Are you Mr. Taylor?
Jermaine Smith.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jermaine Smith. Yes, I skipped
Mhm.
over there. All right, so Mr. Smith, you are charged with 1 count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. I need you to understand, sir, that that is a felony. That's important because that means your next court date is going to be July 1st, 2024, and that's going to be at 8:30 a.m. and that's going to be via Zoom. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, because of the information that you provided to me this morning, Mr. Smith, you do not qualify for a court-appointed lawyer. And so that means if you would like a lawyer on your case, sir, that means you would have to hire your own. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, as to your conditions and your bond amount. So the bond amount for the criminal damage is $3,000. You do have a special condition, sir, and that is to stay away from, I believe the name is Cherie Taylor. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Do you have any questions for me about anything?
I think that'll be it.
All right, sir. Then that's all I have for you. Good luck to you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. All right. And your name, sir?
Alana Taylor.
All right. So, Mr. Taylor, you are charged here with 1 count of driving with suspended license, 1 count of failure to maintain lane, 1 count of striking a fixed object, and 1 count of giving false information to a law enforcement officer. Those are all misdemeanors, sir, which means you have a right to a preliminary hearing, or you can waive that right to that hearing. Which would you like to do
I'll
this?
waive it.
All right. So I'm going to show that you are waiving your right to your hearing. So that means when we're done here this morning, the deputy will have a document for you to sign there to your right. Now, I want to go over your bond amount here with you. The bond amount for a suspended license is $2,500. The maintaining lane, $500. The striking a fixed object, $1,000. False information, $1,500. Your total bond is $5,500. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then lastly, based on the information that you provided to me this morning, Mr. Taylor, I have gone ahead and appointed you a lawyer this morning free of charge. You will have a lawyer to assist you on your case. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions of me about anything?
I was told that I have $729 cash bond.
I
As
can't
well?
speak to that. I mean, I can only tell you what I've got in front of me, and I don't have that information. So, if in
Okay.
fact you do, I guess your question is probably going to be, can you use that? That would be a question for the sheriff.
Okay.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And I believe should be Darnell Taylor.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Taylor, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. That is a misdemeanor, sir. Would you like to have your hearing or waive your preliminary hearing?
Let's go ahead. Here.
I'm sorry?
Let's have it.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and appoint you that next court date. So should you not make your bond, your next court date is gonna be July 2nd. That's gonna be at 8:30 a.m. and that's gonna be via Zoom. Do you understand that, Mr. Taylor?
Wait a minute, yeah.
I'm sorry? All right, so now the only other,
You say.
yes, it's gonna be, your preliminary hearing is gonna be July 2nd, 8:30 a.m. It's gonna be via Zoom, okay?
Okay.
Now, also, Mr. Taylor, you've got to stay away from where this happened on Howard Place. Do you understand that?
I understand.
Now, the only other thing I need to tell you this morning is that I am gonna appoint you a lawyer free of charge, and so you will have a lawyer to assist you on this case, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
All right, then that's all I've got for you, sir. Good luck to you.
What do you want next, Judge?
All right. So we should be, if I'm correct, off Jots now, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm showing Christopher Ashley as first, Squire Bowling, and then I've got D'Angelo Clark. So Ashley, Bowling, and Clark.
Ashley, Bowling, and Clark. Ashley first, Bowling second, and Clark third. Ashley, go to the screen. Who's Ashley? You go right here.
Are you Mr. Christopher Ashley?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ashley, you are charged with 1 count of battery, 1 count of obstruction, and 1 count of cruelty to children who are less than 18 years old. The battery carries a bond of $5,000, the obstruction $1,000. Excuse me, yes, $1,000. The cruelty to children, a bond amount of $5,000. So your total bond is $11,000. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
You are to stay away from Jamila Ashley and Carly Ashley, and also from the address of 422 Roundtree Road. So again, Mr. Ashley, if you didn't hear me earlier, if that's somewhere where you were living before this happened, please understand you are not to return there unless you are accompanied by the sheriff. Do you understand?
Can I just have the sheriff go pick my stuff up?
No, sir.
Oh,
No,
I
sir.
don't need none.
Okay.
I don't need.
So these are all misdemeanors, sir. So would you like to have your preliminary hearing, or would you like to waive your right to your hearing?
I'll wait.
Okay. Are you working right now?
No, sir, I don't have any income. I just was taking care of my special needs daughter.
Okay.
So I was. But
Okay. So based on the information you provided to me this morning, sir, I am going to show you're waiving your hearing. I'm also going to show that you've asked for a court-appointed lawyer. And so I'm going to give you a court-appointed lawyer here free of charge this morning. So the only other thing I've got for you, sir, is the deputy there to your right. He's got a piece of paper he's going to need for you to sign. And once you sign that, you are done.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next one.
All right. Should be Bowling, then Clark.
Who's out the Clark, Judge?
After Clark, I've got Leary, Leary.
Who's out the list?
And then I've got Moses, Leary and Moses. All right. Are you Mr. Bowling?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Mr. Bowling, you are charged with 1 count of unlawful removal of baggage and 1 count of theft by taking. You do have special conditions, sir, and that's to stay away from the Atlanta airport unless you are traveling for work or travel. Now, I'm showing here that this is a felony, Mr. Bowling. That's important because I'm showing you're currently on felony probation. So as a result of that, sir, I am not permitted to give you bond this morning. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So you're going to have a couple of court dates. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date. That's going to be July 1st. And that's going to be at 8:30 a.m. And that's going to be via Zoom. That's your preliminary hearing. You're going to have a bond hearing date. That's going to be July 12th at 8:30 a.m. And that's going to be via Zoom as well. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Last question I have for you, sir, is, were you working?
No, sir, I'm homeless.
Okay, so because of that, sir, I am gonna be able to appoint you a court-appointed lawyer. So you will get a lawyer free of charge, okay?
Okay.
All right, that's all I've got for you, sir. Good luck to you. All right, should be Mr. Clark, D'Angelo Clark. Are you Mr. Clark?
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Clark, I have you here charged with one count of theft by receipt of stolen property. Your bond amount, sir, is $5,000. You are to stay away from the address of 4380, I believe it's International Parkway, Suite B. Do you understand that, sir?
Say it again.
You're to stay away from the address where this happened, 4380 International Parkway, Suite B. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, the information I am showing here, sir, is that you are making about $1,600 a month. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so based on that, sir, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer. Now, because this is a felony, you will have, if you don't make your court date, make your bond, you're going to have a preliminary hearing. And that's going to be July 1st at 8:30 a.m. And that's going to be via Zoom. So again, your bond amount is $5,000. If you don't make your bond, the next court date is going to be July 1st, 8:30 a.m. And that's going to be via Zoom. Okay, sir?
All right.
All right, well, that's all I have for you. Thank you. All right, should be Leary, Moses, and then after that, I have. I believe I've got Terrence James Samuels after that.
Samuel?
Yep, and then that should be just leaving Hamilton, I believe.
No, sir. We got Hernandez.
Oh, yes.
We got Hernandez.
Yep, I do have. I'll handle Hernandez last.
We have Williams.
Okay.
Last
Okay.
one,
Yep,
Williams.
that one too. Okay. Antron Williams. Are you Mr. Leary?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Leary, you're charged with one count of stop sign violation, one count of improper U-turn, one count of improper lane change, one count of suspended license, one count of theft by receipt of stolen property, and 3 counts of red light violation. The stop sign, improper U-turn, and improper lane change all carry a bond of $500 apiece. The license, suspended license is $1,500. The theft by receipt is $4,000, and then the red lights are $500 apiece as well. So, sir, your total bond is $8,000. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, you are charged here with misdemeanor, sir, and it said that you are not working. Is that correct?
I am working actually.
About how much are you making per month?
Like 1,200.
We got 5.
All right, so I am going to go ahead, sir, and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, because these are misdemeanors, you do have the right to a preliminary hearing, or you can waive that. Would you like to have that hearing or waive it? So why don't we do this? We'll go ahead. Let's do this. Let's set the hearing. So in case you don't make your bond, your next court date is going to be July 2nd. It's going to be 8:30 a.m. and that's going to be via Zoom. And again, that's only if you don't make your bond. Okay.
Okay.
All right, sir. Do you have any questions of me about anything, Mr. Leary?
No, sir.
All right, sir. Then again, misdemeanor. I've appointed you a lawyer here. I've given you your bond, about $8,000. And your next court date is going to be via Zoom. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
How to get back. All the way down on your right.
All right. Give me 1 second, sir.
He said, "Come a second."
What's your last name, sir?
Moses.
All right, so Mr. Moses, you are charged with 1 count of battery here. Your bond amount, sir, is $3,500. You do have special conditions, and they are to stay away from a Kate Romero Rosas. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You're also to stay away from the address that I have here of 1869 Mount Zion Road. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, if that was somewhere you were living at the time, sir, and I'm not suggesting was, but if it was, I have also marked here that you, of course, are not allowed back on that property unless and until such time as you make your bond and you are escorted off that property with, or excuse me, escorted onto the property with the Clayton County Sheriff's Office. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, so. All right, so Mr. Moses, you are charged with misdemeanors here. So you have the right to a preliminary hearing, or I can waive that hearing. Which would you like to do, sir?
Yeah, I guess I'll have the preliminary hearing.
All right, so your next court date, sir, should you not make your bond, is July 2nd, 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Again, that's July 2nd. It's going to be 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
How much did you say the bond was again?
Your bond amount is $3,500.
All right, I do have one question.
Yes, sir.
So last night, my family received a phone call from a fake bonding agency, and they actually sent them some money. So I was hoping that maybe you could reduce the fines just a little bit. I mean, the bond amount just a little bit.
Well, sir, unfortunately, I am not going to be able to do that. And so, you know, that's just kind of where we are right now. Is the bond amount is what I gave you? Because I mean, of course, I don't have a reason to believe you're lying, but I don't have any information to that effect.
So you never heard about anyone receiving a phone call from a fake bonding agency before?
I haven't. No, sir.
All right.
All right. Good luck to you. I believe I've got Mr. Samuels. Are you Mr. Samuels?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Samuels, you are charged with one count of criminal trespass. Your bond amount is $1,500. Do you understand that, sir? Now, because of information you provided to me today, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer this morning, okay? And you are not to return, let me be clear, to the airport unless it is for work or for travel. Do you understand that? Do you understand that, sir? All right. And then your next court date, should you not make your bond, is going to be July 2nd, and it's going to be at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom. Okay? All right, Mr. Samuels, do you have any questions of me about anything? So again, it's you're charged with misdemeanor trespass. You got to stay away from the airport unless you're there to travel or for work. Your next court date is going to be 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom here in the Clayton County Courthouse. Your bond amount is $3,500, okay? All right, good luck to you, sir.
We got Mr. Williams coming up, Judge. Who do you want next? Do you want?
Yeah, I didn't have any. Come on up, sir. I didn't have any paperwork on this gentleman.
Yeah, he was.
I saw that. I saw that you all.
They say he was here yesterday.
Okay, that's why. Okay, got it. Give me 1 second.
Okay, after Mr. Williams, who do you want next? Do you want Hamilton or you want Hernandez?
Hamilton.
Okay.
Deputy. Oh, never mind.
Yes.
Dorsey was not here yesterday. The female Dorsey, was she here yesterday? To your knowledge?
I'm not sure. Dorsey. I don't know if Dorsey was here yesterday.
Okay. Okay. I'm looking. Let's see if we can find. Williams. Okay, I've got you right here, Mr. Antron Williams. All right, so Mr. Williams, you are charged with one count of giving false information to a law enforcement officer, one count of obstruction, and one count of improper crossing the roadway. Your bond amount on the false information, sir, is $1,500. On the obstruction is $2,000, and on the improper crossing of the roadway is $4,000. Excuse me, $500. So 1,500, 2,000, and 500. Your total bond amount is $4,000. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
Now, sir, based on the information that you provided, we have gone ahead and appointed you a court-appointed lawyer here this morning, okay?
Yeah.
Now, your next court date, sir, should you not make your bond, is going to be June 25th. Looks like it's already been put down here for you. So it's June 25th, and it's going to be at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be via Zoom, okay?
All right.
All right, so do you have any questions of me, sir?
Can you lower the bar?
No, sir, I cannot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Going fine. Either matter.
All right, and are you Mr. Hamilton?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Hamilton, yours is a little bit different. I'm not sure if you know why you're here.
I'm not really sure because I was in custody. I was told it's a warrant from the 28th of last year. However, I was in custody at that time, so I have no idea.
So I can't really get into those kind of details. That's not why we're here. I just need to advise you this. You have an outstanding warrant from Broward County, and the allegations are what is called grand theft. Now, whether that is correct or not, I can't tell you. I don't know. It's not my purview, not within what I'm here to do. I'm here to just advise you that's what you've been charged with. Since you've been here in Clinton County, that warrant popped. And so that's why
hold on, you kind of broke up a little bit.
I said, I'm here to just let you know that since you've been in Clayton County, that warrant came up.
Okay.
And so that's why you were taken into custody.
Okay.
Okay. Now, here are your options. Option one, you tell me, Judge, I would rather go on back. Send me on back to Broward County. Let them come pick me up, and I'm gonna fight that charge. Okay. Option two, you tell me, Judge, I don't think that they did the procedure correct. Not that the charge is not correct. The procedure is incorrect.
Right.
If the procedure is incorrect, you are entitled to a hearing. They'll try to get that hearing for you in 30 days. If they don't get the hearing within the first 30, you have up to an additional 60 days that you could sit for you to get your court date. Okay. Listen to me again. Not that the charges are incorrect. You would be arguing the procedure used to put this hold on you is incorrect. If you want to fight the charges, you're gonna have to be sent back to Florida. Okay.
Yes, I definitely know that one. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if they don't come get you within 30 days, if you tell me, Judge, I want to go back, and they don't come get you in 30 days, Clayton County will release you, and then they'll have to come get you on their own. Got it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, knowing those two things, sir, which would you like to do? Would you like me to go ahead and what we call waive and send you back to Florida to fight the charges? Or would you like to stay here and have the hearing to fight them procedurally?
Well, the procedure was definitely handled wrong, but I have a newborn at home. I have to get home as soon as possible. I'm the only one at my house that works. So as quicker as I can get to Broward to take care of it, I think that would be the better option.
Okay. So
but
then
the
what
procedure was definitely handled wrong. Definitely, because I was in custody when all this happened. So it shouldn't be.
So what you're arguing, that's not procedurally what I'm talking about. The procedure would be the procedure to take out the warrant. Okay. So what you're arguing is you're arguing the underlying charges. So that is something you got to go back to Broward County for.
No. What I'm saying is when the warrant came about, I was in custody in Broward.
Right. Well, what you're arguing, that's still underlying. That's not, that will be something you need to do there too.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to show based on what you said that you are waiving your right to the hearing here and you want to be sent back. Again, if they don't come get you in 30 days, you will be released. The deputies are going to have about 6 pieces of paper for you to sign, sir. And once you sign those 6 pieces of paper, then that's all I've got for you.
I have another question. I noticed when I was coming in yesterday, I saw next to the warrant ROR or bond. What does that mean?
So typically that means released on your own recognizance. So it may be that you were ROR there, but they wouldn't have a warrant out for you if you were, unless you missed the court date. So maybe you were you released on your own recognizance there?
I was released. The warrant was issued on February 28th. I was not released from custody until May 24th of last year. I moved to Georgia 3 days later.
Yeah, I mean, it could very well mean that they released you and then gave you a court date that you may have missed for whatever reason. Maybe you weren't aware of it. It's hard for me to say without having all that information, but all I can tell you is, what little I've got here, but they're going to have more of that when you get back to Florida.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See the hand sign, I would say this. Come on. You want to leave this up?
All right, so Mr. Hernandez, you are charged here by the police with 1 count of murder. Sir, based on that charge, I'm sure you're aware I cannot grant you bond here today.
Yes.
You have 2 upcoming court dates, sir. Your first court date is going to be July 1st of 2024 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Your second court date is going to be what is called your bond hearing date. That's going to be July 12th at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom here in 2024. Now, based on the information you've provided to me this morning, Mr. Hernandez, I am going to go ahead and appoint you a court-appointed lawyer free of charge. And so you will not have to pay for a lawyer for your case. Do you understand, Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, thank you.
All right, sir. That's all I have for you here today, sir. Unless you have any questions of me, good luck to you.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
That's it, Judge. Mr. Hernandez was the last one.
All right, and then I am going to go ahead and email. I've got Benton, Barkley, and Hollis are the 3. It wouldn't let them sign, and I will contact IT right now.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
Yes, sir. You too. Bye-bye.
That's how you hurt your leg.